Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, the toll of the government shutdown, 6 top doctors sound the alarm, and some Yankees magic. Growing gridlock.
Is it because of the shutdown?
The government shutdown impacting at least 8 major airports as workers go without paychecks. And the president now threatened to keep back pay from some federal workers.
There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
Former FBI Director James Comey due in court, set to be arraigned after pressure from President Trump, despite doubts about the evidence. This as Attorney General Pam Bondi is grilled on Capitol Hill.
Don't call me a liar.
Over the Comey case and the Epstein files.
6 former surgeons general sounding the alarm. The new warning, the quote, unprecedented threat, they say, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. poses, accusing him of endangering the health of the nation.
New details on the Mark Sanchez case, what the Indianapolis prosecutor is telling us about the investigation, why the former NFL quarterback could face an upgraded charge after he was accused of beating a delivery driver.
Dolly Parton's health challenges, what we're learning after her sister asked fans for prayers following the decision to postpone Dolly's highly anticipated Las Vegas residency.
Paw Patrol.
Oh, where's your mama? Tell me where mama is.
The 4-legged hero and the deputy who came to the rescue.
Oh, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you.
How Eeyore saved the day.
Yankees fans on edge.
It's a drive down the line. If it's fair, it's his moment. It is. It's tied. Judge has arrived.
Aaron Judge's monster home run and an historic comeback, keeping New York's season alive.
Oh, I'm sweating.
And we are excited for this. Diane's one-on-one with Julia Roberts.
You could go home if you want, because I really have so much I'd like to say.
I want to know what you think.
As we take a trip down memory lane.
You know what I love the most about this moment? Even your ears are blushing.
Your ears are blushing.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
2 superstars sit down for a conversation right there. We are looking forward to that. Good morning, America. It is a busy Wednesday morning. You know, Ginger is standing by tracking the tropical storm that is gaining strength in the Atlantic.
Also ahead, Dr. Tara Narula is here breaking down the new study that finds a certain type of breast cancer has doubled in recent decades.
But we begin with the widening fallout from the government shutdown. It is day 8 and no sign yet of a deal between Democrats and Republicans to end the standoff and pass a spending bill. Airline delays are emerging as a concern with reports of staffing shortages of air traffic controllers nationwide. Will Reeve is at Newark Airport with the latest for us. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Michael. Right now, 8 major air traffic control locations are facing staffing shortages, and one airport near Los Angeles actually had to shut down for hours because of staffing issues. And this all comes as the president now says that some federal workers might not get back pay whenever the shutdown ends. This morning, growing gridlock for travelers across the country as the government shutdown hits air travel hard. The FAA warning of staff shortages at least 8 major locations, threatening delays and cancellations in Las Vegas, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, Boston, Newark, Atlanta, and Nashville. Smaller airports like the one in Burbank, California, hit hardest. Some control towers forced to shut down for hours on end.
Is it because of the shutdown that you guys are going? It's for staffing.
Air traffic controllers are considered essential workers and have already faced extreme staffing shortages. Now they won't be paid until the shutdown ends, possibly going weeks without a paycheck. It all has a serious impact on productivity.
Distress, it's going to lead to fatigue, and it's an issue that they've had to contend with for years.
President Trump has already threatened to fire federal workers, and now the White House is floating a new threat, suggesting that some of the 750,000 federal workers might not get back pay.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
For people like Anthony Lee, a veteran FDA employee, federal workers are simply caught in the crossfire.
We have workers across the board who are coming to work and having to do their jobs without pay. And then you have other workers who are furloughed through no fault of their own. And for the administration to even suggest that they're not going to pay federal workers due to the shutdown is unconscionable.
But the president didn't say which workers stand to lose that money. And Democrats say what the president is proposing is illegal.
And the law is clear. Every single furloughed federal employee is entitled to back pay. Period. Full stop.
It was during President Trump's first term back in 2019 that Congress passed a law guaranteeing back pay for federal workers, a law Trump himself signed. Now, 6 years later, even some Republicans are uneasy with the administration's strategy.
I don't think that is helpful discussion right now. Let's get out of the shutdown. Let's negotiate the premium tax credits and not threaten or use this as a lever to actually create fear and uncertainty for people who are not making a paycheck.
The shutdown is dragging on with no end in sight, and we're approaching a busy holiday weekend. And to snarl things up even more right now in the Newark area and around the Northeast, bad weather expected. So right now, George, a lot of headwinds facing travelers amid this shutdown.
Yeah, it's going to be a strange day out there for the flyers. We're going to turn now to former FBI Director James Comey, due to be arraigned this morning in federal court on charges of making false statements to Congress. An indictment brought by President Trump's handpicked U.S. attorney after previous investigations determined there was insufficient evidence of a crime. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is at the courthouse in Virginia. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. A little while from now, former FBI Director James Comey will walk into the courthouse behind me and begin a legal fight where his reputation and freedom is at stake. Former FBI Director James Comey will enter the Alexandria Federal Courthouse this morning in a wholly unfamiliar position: defendant. Comey indicted and charged with lying to Congress and obstructing congressional proceedings, allegations he flatly denies.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Comey now stands at the center of an ongoing and heated debate over whether the Justice Department has been weaponized by President Trump to target his political enemies. Comey was indicted by newly installed U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan, who has no prior prosecutorial experience, put in place after President Trump forced out his own hand-picked U.S. attorney who did not believe there was enough evidence to prosecute Comey. Comey's indictment, a main topic of debate in a contentious Senate Judiciary hearing on Tuesday, with Attorney General Pam Bondi taking political fire from Democrats. Bondi challenged on her move to prosecute former FBI Director James Comey, just 6 days after President Trump publicly urged her to do so, posting, "Nothing is being done, and we can't delay any longer."
I'd like to know from you what conversations you've had with President Trump about the indictment of James Comey.
Senator, I am not going to discuss any conversations I have or have not had with the President of the United
States. See that
you're an attorney, you have a law degree, and you know that I'm not going to do that.
Bondi responding on the attack herself.
This is supposed to be an oversight hearing.
Oversight?
Excuse me, you can attack me after my time is over.
You've attacked all of us, including President Trump, for your entire career.
You can attack me later,
and the Justice Department's handling of the files of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein remained a hot topic for Democrats and some Republicans.
Secretary Howard Lutnick on October 1 gave an interview to the New York Post about Mr. Epstein. And he described Mr. Epstein as, quote, the greatest blackmailer ever. Don't you think you ought to talk to him after this interview?
Senator, if Howard Lutnick wants to speak to the FBI and if Director Patel wants to speak to Howard Lutnick, absolutely.
The Attorney General also refusing to explain why the Justice Department closed its investigation into a close Trump aide. Border czar Tom Homan, who allegedly accepted a bag stuffed with $50,000 in cash in 2024 as part of an FBI bribery sting, and transaction allegedly caught on tape.
Is there a tape that has audio and video of the transfer of the $50,000?
You would have to talk to Director Patel about that.
No, I'm talking to you.
I don't know the answer, Senator.
Yeah, you do know the answer to that.
Don't call me a liar.
I didn't call you a liar.
The administration has not said what happened to that $50,000. Pierre, let's go back to the Comey case. ABC News has some new reporting saying there are real questions about the testimony of one of the prosecution's key witnesses.
Well, George, ABC News has learned that one of the reasons some of the prosecutors had reservations about the strength of the case is that a potential key witness has given investigators information that could prove problematic and likely undermine the case, George.
Pierre Thomas, thanks very much. Robin?
Okay, George, now to 6 former surgeons general issuing a warning about Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., charging that he is, quote, endangering the health of the nation with his policies. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is at the White House for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. And this is a blistering op-ed from some of the nation's top doctors who were appointed under both Democratic and Republican administrations, coming together with a strong warning for the nation about Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This morning, 6 former surgeons general sounding the alarm on the, quote, unprecedented threat they say HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. poses to public health. For decades, surgeons general have issued warnings to the public on everything from the effects of cigarettes and alcohol to guidance on mental health. Now these former surgeons general, who worked under every Democratic and Republican president since George H.W. Bush, including one appointed by President Trump in his first term, are warning Americans about their own health leaders, saying they felt compelled to speak out because they believe Kennedy is endangering the health of the nation.
I am Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Since becoming secretary earlier this year, Kennedy, a known vaccine skeptic, has sought to swiftly overhaul the nation's vaccine policy. The surgeons general saying under Kennedy's leadership, science and expertise have taken a back seat to ideology and misinformation, pointing to several actions by Kennedy, like his firing of all 17 members of the nation's top independent vaccine advisory panel. Kennedy then stacking it with people he handpicked. Several of them have been skeptical of vaccines themselves. Just this week, the acting director of the CDC, who Kennedy appointed, signing off on the panel's decision to narrow the scope of eligibility for the COVID-19 vaccine and change the recommended vaccine dosing schedule for children, separating the chickenpox vaccine from the shot that protects against measles, mumps, and rubella. Dr. Richard Cremona, one of the surgeons general who penned that warning, pushing back on the changes, saying Americans should trust vaccines.
Get your children vaccinated, and unfortunately disregard what you're hearing from Secretary Kennedy and many of his political appointees who continue to provide mis and disinformation to confuse the public.
The 6 surgeons general also highlighting the controversial announcement by Kennedy and President Trump suggesting acetaminophen use by pregnant women can cause autism, despite no concrete evidence. Writing, rather than combating the rapid spread of health misinformation with facts and clarity, Kennedy is amplifying it, saying the consequences of Kennedy's decision will come and that they are measured in lives lost, disease outbreaks, and an erosion of public trust that will take years to rebuild.
Parents are not sure now, who should I believe? Children don't get vaccinated. They get diseases. They die. They spread disease. Pregnant moms get sick. So when you look at the ramifications, they're catastrophic, all stemming from leaders who didn't understand their responsibility to the American public to bring forth the best science to drive policy.
These former surgeons general ending their op-ed with this: Secretary Kennedy is entitled to his views, but he is not entitled to put people's health at risk. And Jerome Adams, who, as we mentioned, was appointed by President Trump in his first term, posting on social media, disinformation and the destruction of public health and America's trust in doctors will kill more people than cigarettes. And HHS just got back to us in a statement. They tell us, we remain committed to restoring trust, reforming the broken healthcare system, and ensuring that every American has access to a real choice to their healthcare, Michael.
Rachel, thank you. Appreciate you. We're going to turn now to the threat in the Atlantic. Tropical storm Jerry is strengthening, and Ginger is here with the track as well as the cool down in the Northeast. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning, Michael. More than a dozen states have frost and freeze alerts. By tomorrow morning, we'll be approaching freezing from Elkins to Burlington, Vermont. And yes, they get kind of close here in Connecticut. Remember, that's warning you about plants, so if you have any sensitive vegetation that's outside. But look at the temperatures. We're going to drop below average in New York to only 60 for a high on Thursday. Then we quickly check in on Jerry, which is a tropical storm now. It will intensify to hurricane strength and get close to the northern Lesser Antilles by the end of the week, and then stay this weekend out to sea, which we love to see. George.
Thank you, Ginger. We're going to turn now to October baseball. Some playoff magic for the Yankees. Sam's covering it.
And George, good morning, everyone.
All rise for the judge. Yes, I did. It was a do-or-die game for the Yankees last night in the Bronx, and things were looking grim early. Yankees killer Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just got started in the first inning with his third home run of the season. People were calling Vladdy the daddy. A two-run shot to give Toronto the early lead. Maybe. They would go up 6-1, but then the Bronx Bombers turned it on. This monster home run hit in the clutch by Aaron Judge electrified fans, got a bonk off the foul pole, tying the whole game. Yankees scored 3 more times and win 9-6 to force Game 4 in the Bronx. The Seattle Mariners taking 2 games to 1 lead over the Detroit Tigers. Cal Raleigh, who hit 60 home runs in the regular season with a 2-run big dumper blast in the 9th to cap off an 8-4 win. Another huge day for baseball fans ahead. 4 games, and we will have 4 teams to move one step closer to the World Series.
Well done. Well, you know what?
How was it?
That was good. That was good.
I don't know about the bonk, but I love the joke.
You know what? It's kind of like, it's like you're growing up. I've been watching it right there in my house. I'm so proud.
I know, we are. Thank you, Sam. We got a 4-legged hero now who came to the rescue when an 86-year-old woman fell while they were taking a walk. And you've got this heartwarming story for us,
the
Lara.
dog beat is covered right here, Robin. We've all heard of Lassie. Well, the star of this story is a cute fella named Eeyore, who was on a walk with his owner's 86-year-old mom when the mom fell and needed help. And that's when Eeyore took a page from Lassie's playbook and proved he was Grandma's best friend.
Aww.
Oh, you're such a good boy. You're so good. An incredible rescue, all thanks to a woman's best friend. It began with a 911 call in Destin, Florida.
She just takes that dog, but she never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour now. It's over an hour now.
Sheriff's Deputy Devin Miller began searching for the 86-year-old after her husband reported her missing. There's the dog. Hi, baby. Miller then stopped by a friendly pooch, clearly looking for help. Hey, where's your mama? Where's your mommy? Hold on, where's your mama? Tell me where mama is. She then follows the dog named Eeyore, and suddenly a human voice in the dark. The woman had fallen while out for a walk and couldn't get up.
Hey, man, can you come and help him? You okay?
The woman so grateful to both the sheriff and, of course, Eeyore.
The dog brought me over. He ran up to my car and I said, bring me to your mommy, and he ran back here. He come up to your car? Good boy. Sweetheart. Good boy. Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy. Grandma loves you.
The old adage of dog is a man's best friend. In this case, the dog was truly a woman's best friend.
Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden praising his deputy for following her gut.
It's because of the love and the dedication to the job and the public that we serve, which makes this story even better.
Good boy, Eeyore.
Good boy, Eeyore. And just like Lassie, he showed off his smarts when they were needed most. And just like his namesake, Eeyore, he's loyal and he loves a good nap.
Wow. And thank goodness for that deputy.
Yep, for listening to the pooch.
Yeah. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Coming up, the new twist in the Mark Sanchez case, what the prosecutor told Matt Rivers about the case against the former NFL star. Matt's standing by with the latest on that.
Also ahead, Rebecca Jarvis is standing by on Gold's record surge.
And we have the latest on Dolly Parton's health.
Coming up, Jared Leto is here live to talk about his new movie, Tron Ares, and we'll be right back. Aren't you?
Back here on GMA, listen to that woman, Beyonce. It is a golden morning because there's a new gold rush. Prices topping $4,000 an ounce for the first time. Rebecca will tell us what that says about our economy and what you should consider before, you rush in.
Props to our producers. How about that to introduce a gold story right there?
We got there.
First new at 7:30. Members of the Texas National Guard are in an Army Reserve Training Center in the Chicago area, deployed by President Trump despite objections from local leaders. These are mostly going to cities run by Democrats. A hearing on a lawsuit challenging the deployment is set for tomorrow. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem took a trip to Portland, Oregon, where a judge blocked the deployment of the National Guard after state and local officials objected. Officials in Portland say nightly protests have been confined to a single city block, and there's no need to call in the military. The U.S. delegation arriving today in Egypt to join the talks aimed at finalizing a Gaza peace deal. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have been communicating with mediators. The deal would bring an end to the 2-year war, bring home the hostages, help end the suffering in Gaza.
Also, American Airlines is changing its carry-on baggage policy, removing bag sizes from gate areas to make the boarding process smoother. Sizers will still be available in the lobby. Doesn't mean you can carry a bigger bag. And look at this spectacular video showing hundreds of dolphins leaping in unison off the coast of Southern California. How cool is that? The phenomenon is called dolphin stampede.
Beautiful.
And it usually happens when they're fish or feeding, or they're running from a predator, or when they're just having fun.
Yeah, great sight. We're going to turn now to the prosecutor in the Mark Sanchez case, saying a battery charge against the former NFL quarterback could be upgraded again. He spoke with Matt Rivers, who joins us from Indianapolis. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, George. The top prosecutor in this case telling me that the violence that played out overnight Saturday down that alleyway behind me simply doesn't make sense. Sanchez, yes, getting stabbed, but officials now completely sure, they say, that he was the aggressor. This morning, Indianapolis prosecutors tell ABC News upgraded charges are still a possibility in the case against former NFL star Mark Sanchez.
The allegations became pretty clear that Mr. Sanchez was the aggressor.
Accused of beating delivery truck driver Perry Toll early Saturday morning. Toll's family sharing this photo of him in the hospital. Sanchez already facing a felony battery charge among additional misdemeanors. Prosecutors waiting on more info about the victim's long-term condition.
So for us, it's all about gathering as much information as possible. And very oftentimes that comes from medical providers being able to say, as a result of these injuries, this person is going to have to deal with the following things for the rest of their life, for a significant period of their life.
Police say 38-year-old Sanchez confronted the 69-year-old Toll mid-delivery shift about where he had parked. The altercation happening right there. Police saying Sanchez attacked the delivery driver. The driver then responding, they say, in self-defense, using pepper spray, even stabbing Sanchez several times. Bleeding, he then takes off down that alleyway. Investigators say they are poring over mountains of video evidence, including this one obtained by the New York Post. In it, a bloodied Sanchez is seen clutching his wounds.
Nothing that you've seen so far would merit or even begin to explain the level of violence that took place?
No. I mean, these are simple interactions, and at most a simple disagreement over whether someone was permitted to park in a specific location.
According to court documents, Toll said Sanchez smelled of alcohol. Toxicology reports still pending. Toll now suing Sanchez and his employer, Fox, where he works as an analyst, citing permanent, life-altering injuries and emotional distress.
My client was just the victim of an unprovoked, senseless attack, and at all times he just tried to defend himself.
The violent encounter running opposite to Sanchez's clean image as a former collegiate and pro quarterback. His family saying in a statement, this has been a deeply distressing time for everyone involved. Now, if this felony charge gets upgraded to aggravated battery, if convicted, it carries with it a sentence of 3 to 16 years in prison. Robin?
Distressing time, like his family said. All right, Matt, thank you. Now to new concerns about Dolly Parton's health. The country music legend recently postponed her Las Vegas residency, and now an online post by her sister has fans really concerned.
And Robin, we want to start by saying a source close to the situation says Dolly's doing well, but that post by Frida Parton asking everyone to pray for her sister has Dolly's fans really worried.
This morning, as the Queen of Country Music battles health issues off stage, Dolly Parton's family is now asking for prayers. Dolly's sister Frida Parton posting on Facebook, many of you know she hasn't been feeling her best lately. I truly believe in the power of prayer, and I have been led to ask all of the world that loves her to be prayer warriors and pray with me. However, a source close to the situation telling ABC News, Dolly's doing well and still working. It was just last week when the icon shocked fans announcing her decision to postpone her highly anticipated Las Vegas residency, citing health challenges, writing, I am not going to be able to rehearse and put together the show that I want you to see and the show that you deserve to see. The 79-year-old has not publicly disclosed the nature of her health issues, but says she'll be undergoing a few procedures.
9 to 5 for service and devotion.
At the time, the 11-time Grammy Award winner said she had no plans to retire or slow down anytime soon, a mentality she has maintained throughout the years. And it's something she talked about candidly after receiving the CMA Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016.
I love what I do, and I hope to be doing it from now on. I hope they don't think because they gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award, they thought I was done. No way that's going to happen.
This year, an emotional one for Dolly, her husband of nearly 60 years, Carl Dean, whom she called the star of her life story, passing away in March.
We all know that that had an impact on her, so much so that she really wasn't even leaving the house because he was dealing with health issues and she wanted to be by his side. So I think losing him probably took a huge toll on Dolly. And it's no wonder that if at the very least, she just needed to rest, just needed to reset. And I think all of us are hoping that's all this is.
We sure are. Overnight, Dolly's sister posting an update to social media writing, "I want to clear something up. I didn't mean to scare anyone or make it sound so serious when asking for prayers for Dolly. She's been a little under the weather, and I simply asked for prayers because I believe so strongly in the power of prayer." Well, we will look forward to Dolly getting better, getting on stage when she's ready and healthy. And she does have a new book about her life on stage coming out next month. If you need a little Dolly in your life.
She is a treasure.
She sure is.
An absolute treasure.
Thinking of her, wishing her the best.
Yes,
prayer
we
warriors.
are.
Yeah, prayer warriors.
All right.
Thank you, Lara. Coming up next, Rebecca is here with the new gold rush. Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Michael, we are going for the gold. Prices are reaching new heights, topping $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever. I will tell you what's driving prices higher and what you should know before you rush out to buy some.
We are back now with a new gold rush. The price of gold reaching heights it has never seen. Chief Economics Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is here with what's behind the surge and whether you should be getting into the gold market. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hello, Michael. Hey, guys. Yeah, gold is getting a lot of attention right now because it is at a new record high, over $4,000 an ounce. That's up about 50% over just the last year. Remember, just this past March, gold traded above $3,000 for the very first time ever. So it's gone up quickly.
Yeah, and it usually goes up when people are worried about the future of the economy.
Yes, and you feel that uncertainty throughout the world right now, throughout economies all over. Investors tend to see gold as a safe place to store money during those times of uncertainty. Gold has doubled in the last 2 years, reflecting the scale of unknowns that continue to hang over major economies, including ours. You have the government shutdown, inflation, the amount of debt that we've taken on with no real solutions to pay it off, lower interest rates, and then that great political uncertainty. You can really think of gold like a financial security blanket for investors. That doesn't mean it can't go down, though, Robin. That's important to remember.
Yeah, but what we were talking about in the break is that, big box stores, you can get them there. And so what is your advice to people to thinking about investing?
Yeah, so the big box stores, these big retailers started getting into the physical gold selling business not that long ago. You could buy a gold bar starting in 2023 at Costco. They sold out after the launch. It continues to be a hot item as the price of gold keeps rising. Walmart's also selling gold coins and bars online. Some are priced around $4,200 an ounce. That's a little bit more than where gold is actually trading at. So you're paying a markup there. What you can do if you want to buy gold as a part of your investments is look at ETFs. These track the price of gold. They give you access, but you don't have to physically take the gold because reselling a physical bar of gold is a lot harder than buying a physical bar.
Why so?
Because of the fees that are associated with it. You could go to a pawn shop, you could send it in, but it's not as easy to do that, and you usually pay a little bit to sell your gold.
I can't see going to a pawn shop with a gold bar.
So if you buy the gold bar, you're already down the minute you buy it.
It's kind of like driving the brand new car off the lot. It depreciates almost immediately. The other reality here is while gold is very exciting right now because of where it's been and where it is, that doesn't mean you should put all of your money there. Generally, analysts say 5 to 10% of your portfolio could go towards gold. And again, take a look at those ETFs if you're interested.
I picture somebody like, I got a bug.
They don't take gold at Starbucks.
That's how I'm thinking. Okay.
All right,
maybe it's just me.
Yeah, maybe it is just you. We're back now with our play of the day and the rescue mission to find a footloose cat named Francine.
I like Footloose.
Yeah.
That was fun there. All right. She may have used up one of her 9 lives here, but we are hoping it's a perfect ending after a beloved after a beloved hardware store cat accidentally disappears. So I love this one. I got to use it again. It's Meow or Never to find her, launching a nationwide search for the favorite feline.
She's been here 9 years. She is one of our top employees.
Wayne Snyder isn't kidding around.
What are you doing?
According to employees, Francine is a feline employee of the month at this Richmond, Virginia Lowe's.
When you come here, you look for her.
She went missing mid-September. Finding her became a top priority. The community-ran Instagram Where's Francine, dedicated to her search, attracting over 30,000 followers and lots of speculation on her disappearance.
That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself.
And the social campaign for Our Cat's return literally went viral.
The community got involved when they found out, because we really didn't know at first, where she was. We thought maybe she was hiding.
Turns out, after checking the store's cameras, Francine had wandered into the back of a delivery truck and was on a journey roughly 85 miles away to a distribution center in North Carolina.
I was pretty confident that we would find Francine. It was just going to be a matter of time. It was kind of going to be on her terms.
After more than 2 weeks searching, use of thermal drones, setting up several humane traps, and scouring over 246 cameras, Francine was found.
We were so elated. I mean, we were just, like almost a miracle.
As you can imagine, her long-awaited return left everyone feline good.
Yeah, we're glad to have her home.
Oh, Sam.
Welcome home, Francine. Yeah. All right, so she was gifted with a fashionable new harness that has a tracking tag, so
well
this
done.
doesn't happen again.
No.
I like the blue carpet. The royal entrance.
Welcome home. Thank you both. Coming up, we are lighting up the grid thanks to the latest installment in the Tron franchise. And look what Jared Leto, he's here.
Oh, no way.
He came on that?
Oh, his light cycle.
Oh.
Wow.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Growing gridlock.
Is it because of the shutdown?
The government shutdown impacting at least 8 major airports as workers go without paychecks. And the president now threatened to keep back pay from some federal workers.
There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
Julia Roberts one-on-one with Diane Sawyer.
Tense up, everybody. Tense up.
Me.
Talking about her new movie, already getting rave reviews.
There's so many layers of mystery going on.
Having her co-stars live in her home before filming.
I still can't believe that you all had God's sleepaway camp at your house.
Looking back at her Oscar-winning career and their interviews through the years.
We are racing into Wednesday with Oscar winner Jared Leto.
I would like you to meet Ares.
Lighting up the grid in Tron Ares, as he says.
Good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Good morning, Jared Leto. Yeah. It's great to have him here. Tron Ares is already getting a lot of buzz. We cannot wait to hear all about it.
And we will, coming up. But also ahead, Dr. Tara Narula joins us. So what could be causing the rise after a type of breast cancer has doubled in recent years?
Spike. Yeah. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the widening fallout from the government shutdown. It's day 8 now. No sign yet of a deal between Democrats and Republicans to end the standoff, pass a spending bill that would keep the government open. Airline delays are emerging as a concern with reports of staffing shortages of air traffic controllers nationwide. I want to go back to Will Reeve at Newark Airport. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, George. Yeah, the government shutdown is hitting air travel hard. Right now, the FAA warning of staffing shortages at 8 major locations around the country. And those are Las Vegas, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, Boston, Atlanta, Nashville, and right here in Newark, all impacted by these shortages that could and likely will lead to delays or cancellations, to say nothing of long lines at airport security. And yesterday, the airport in Burbank, California was impacted, had to shut down for hours because of staffing shortages. And air traffic controllers are considered essential workers, but they will not be paid until the government shutdown ends. And President Trump has said that federal workers might be fired, and the White House is now suggesting that they might not give back pay to some of the 750,000 federal employees, though the president did not specify which employees that would apply to. And back in 2019, the president signed a bill into law that guaranteed back pay to federal workers. But right now, no end in sight to the shutdown, nor to these shortages at air traffic control, nor to the potential headaches for millions of travelers, Michael.
All right, yeah, a lot of headaches, and I guess he forgot he signed that bill. Will, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to the pro-Palestinian protests overnight. At least 13 people were arrested, and several police officers were injured in Boston. Chief investigative correspondent Eric Katersky is here with the story for us. Good morning, Eric.
And good morning to you, Michael. Demonstrators marked 2 years of war since the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, and in Boston there were clashes with police. Boston police said 13 pro-Palestinian demonstrators were arrested. Several officers were injured. A march from Boston Common called Students for Justice in Palestine spilled into the street there, blocking traffic. The crowd waving Palestinian flags, throwing red-colored powder into the air. Police said protesters turned on them, kicking a marked cruiser, setting off smoke flares and assaulting officers, 2 of them taken to the hospital with broken bones. Police used bikes to block the crowd and were seen arresting demonstrators on the ground. Here in New York, 2 protesters were arrested outside the Israeli consulate. Elsewhere in the city, dueling protests, one accusing Israel of loving war, another calling to release the hostages, chanted back and forth, but those protesters stayed mainly peaceful. And hundreds gathered in Central Park for a circle of unity. Guys, that was a more subdued commemoration of an attack that sparked an as yet unending war.
Yeah, not unending. And hopefully it will be ending at some point.
Hopefully soon.
Hey, Aaron, thank you. Appreciate you. Now we have a GMA Health Alert as we celebrate 40 years of breast cancer awareness this month. A new study out this morning reveals that a specific type, lobular carcinoma, has doubled since 1975. We're going to bring in our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Taryn Arula. We need to break this down and the impact it can have. 1 in 10? 10%?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So when we think about breast cancer, there are a couple different types. The most common is ductal breast cancer. Michael, you were asking, this is for cells that come from the ducts that line, the cells that line the ducts with the milk travels, the milk travels down. That's ductal breast cancer. That's the most common. The second most common, 10% of cases, is lobular breast cancer. The lobules form the milk. We have seen a rise since 1970, almost a doubling of number of cases of lobular cancer. So about 3% increase in cases of lobular per year, compared to less than 1% of the other types of breast cancer. So about 30,000 women will be diagnosed this year with lobular breast cancer. This cancer, we are seeing increase in women of all ages, older and younger, all races and ethnicities, although it is most prevalent in white women. It is interestingly more difficult to see on mammograms and more difficult to find on exams. Why? Because it grows differently. It tends to not form a lump, but grows more in lines or sheets. And so women may see nipple retraction, skin dimpling or thickening, fullness of the breast or redness, as opposed to a mass or a lump. So, we know that researchers think that some of this may be in part due to changes in risk factors. So obesity, sedentary lifestyle, alcohol, but also these cancers, Robin, are hormonally sensitive. And so the fact that women are getting their periods earlier, having menopause later, having kids later, less kids, and even hormone replacement therapy, all of this chronic, long-term, longer exposure to hormones may be fueling some of these lobular cancers that we're seeing.
So that could be part of the case here.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, as you said, it's hard to detect with a mammogram.
Right.
So what should we take away from the study?
Yeah, so, unfortunately, we haven't really studied this type of cancer as well as we should have. We really lumped it in with the ductal, so we need to do better research. Overall, the prognosis for lobular is pretty good at 5 years, 6 years, about 90% survival. The problem is when you go out past 7 years, the survival for lobular drops below that of other breast cancers like ductal. Why? Well, we tend to find it at a larger size, at a later stage. We also know it's less responsive to some types of chemotherapy. There tends to be later recurrence of this type of breast cancer, and it can also happen in the other breast. So lots of different reasons, again, why we need to do a better job understanding lobular. But for women, important to know your family history, obviously recognize any changes you might see in your breast, take care of those risk factors, so make sure you're exercising, eating well, avoiding too much alcohol, if any alcohol. And then also, when you speak to your doctor, obviously the standard of care is mammograms. But for this type of cancer, breast MRI and contrast-enhanced mammography may do a better job. So the doctor may recommend that if you're at higher risk.
So many factors involved here.
Yes.
All right. As always, thank you, Dr. Nerullo. Appreciate you.
Coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, Diane Sawyer here with her interview with Julia Roberts. She's talking about her new movie. It's getting rave reviews.
Also had Oscar winner Jared Leto is here live. Look at him lighting up the screen in the beloved Tron franchise.
Plus, the stars of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place are here. David Henry and Janice Leanne Brown are giving us a preview of season 2 and Larry Samuel with Laura Bergamotto.
Yeah, and it is time, Sal. Crank up the conveyor belt.
Oh, Sal, from the other side today. This is so scary. It's deal drop days. But look, we barely have room because we got Wizards, we got Diane Sawyer, we've got Tron bikes in the studio. But Jared Leto's here. Walmart bargain days begin. We got those.
Prime Days.
And Prime Days.
So many, Sam.
All right. Just for all of that, stay right here.
Wednesday morning here in the Big Apple, but we're back with our GMA cover story. Julia Roberts is back on screen for a brand new movie. It's called After the Hunt. It's already sparking conversations, drawing praise for her performance. Our Diane got to talk with her, and she's here. You got to just share everything.
When she walks in the room, you know what it's like.
I know.
When she walks in the room, and she dropped by. We had a chance to talk about this incredible arc of her life and career, back from the young girl we all saw in Mystic Pizza, remember her behind the counter, to this riveting new character she plays in After the Hunt. And the movie itself is designed to start a conversation, and when she arrives, I promise you, it does.
Julia Roberts arrives.
Tense up, everybody. Tense up.
Me.
I told her the new movie is so provocative.
New question.
I keep wrestling with it, changing my mind.
I'll just tell you what I think.
Okay.
You could go home if you want, because I really have so much I'd like to say.
I want to know what you think.
In the film, she plays a powerful but mysterious Yale professor at the center of a quartet of great actors. She's trying to piece together a kind of Me Too puzzle, an accusation against her close colleague and competitor by her student and protege. So who is telling the whole truth?
What are you saying happened? There's so many layers of mystery going on. I mean, I know there's sort of the obvious question of an incident and who's telling the truth, but who is ever telling the truth or not, and why in this movie is what's so interesting to me.
She is challenging to Io Adebari, who plays the graduate student from a powerful family, as the film asks, do we know everything about her motives?
I don't feel comfortable having this conversation with you anymore.
Not everything is supposed to make you comfortable, Maggie. Not everything is supposed to be a lukewarm bath for you to sink into until you fall asleep and drown. And it's been really such a beautiful thing to sit next to Io, who I really admire and adore, and to listen to the words she chooses and the way that she sees the world in this movie.
And Julia's character is just as challenging to her friend, that professor played by Andrew Garfield. Charismatic, untamed. She says, watch his intensity. This was his first scene on his first day on set.
You know the truth, and you won't say it because it'll make you look bad. Your lip ruined me, ruined my life, and you can easily stop it.
You give me too much power, Hank. I did not do this. You did this to yourself. First take just blows in and has this great scene, and you know, it's a long scene, and then it's over, you know, cut, and I was just like, oh, I'm sweating.
And at the center of it all, the question, what do we do with loyalty and doubt?
And having an ability to share opinions, to disagree, to have discourse, and leave room for the person opposite you having these conversations.
It's almost as if, is there a place beyond all these certainties that we can just meet and grapple together?
That is so perfectly said. So perfectly said.
The actors and their director had a chance to talk about all this when they made the unconventional decision to live together at Julia's house for a couple of weeks before filming. She and her husband, cinematographer Danny Moder, cooked the food.
I still can't believe that you all had God's sleepaway camp at your house, and everybody got to come stay at your house.
I mean, I love a good puppy pile of people. As you know, some days it felt like tight corners, and some days it's like, do we have any more clean forks? Somebody wash some forks. But it was great, and I think it was the fast track to the inside of each other.
I told her some writers are calling her performance astonishing, powerful.
The monumental center, the coiled spring. You can stop me. Or
Did you write all these things, Diane? Thank you.
Last night. Do you like them? Truly breathtaking. And that you get the varying shades of earnestness, caginess, altruism, and selfishness.
Wow.
Of being a human.
Will you send that to Danny?
She is now 57 years old, but it's always tempting to roll back the tape on her amazing career. An Oscar winner for Erin Brockovich.
I love the world. I'm so happy. Thank you.
A Pretty Woman.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
And that first burst into the screen behind the counter in Mystic Pizza. When I first interviewed her early on, she was still so vulnerable, maybe trying to find her way.
You know what I love the most about this moment?
What?
Even your ears are blushing. Your ears are blushing.
I'm telling you, my heart is racing right now.
And they were just so bright.
So red. Well, that's why I have them hidden now.
Now she's a woman in full command with the lucky gift of a 23-year marriage and 3 grown children she adores. So I thought I'd go back to a question I asked that young woman long ago. What does she hope heaven will be like?
There would be music. There would be dancing. Everybody would have wings in any color, in like their favorite color, right? And then at night, when everyone went to bed, it'd be really, really quiet. And then you just hear little bells in the very background that you could only hear if you really listened. I stand by my responses, yes.
And do you want to amend anything in heaven now?
I think we need a bigger table.
A lot of heaven in her life. So anybody want to put in an order for your color of wings?
I like metallic baby blue.
Is that okay? Is that okay? You know what I love? Everybody's assuming they're getting there.
Oh! That's true. That's true.
That's our mark.
Can't get too far ahead.
Diane, that was a great conversation.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
It is interesting, and her character in this film has a secret also, which we'll discover at some point in it.
Hello.
And the whole film just reminds us that everything we see through the prism of our own experience, and we think we're just seeing it clearly. So it's going to be a movie, as I say, that will have you talking. The team, my team who saw it and did this piece together, we're still talking.
Oh, that's great.
And you learn a lot about each other.
Yeah. Okay. Without having to live together like she did. That was awesome that she did that. Open her home.
Oh, she loves it. She meant the puppy pile.
Yes.
She just loves it. Come on in and stay a while. Let's do. Apparently she makes a mean banana bread. We'll get her to send it in.
I'm in.
Okay.
All right.
Come to my house.
Let's go. I'm in. Anytime, let's in.
I'm coming to the house.
Who cooks in this group?
I make a mean reservation.
I can cook a little bit. And here we go. The movie After the Hunt comes out Friday in New York and LA and nationwide on October 17th. That just looks fantastic. Thank you so much, Diane. It's always great to have you here.
It's time for Deal Drop Days. GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamato is here with top savings from Amazon Prime Days and Walmart with everything $50 or less.
Yes, we curated everything so it is even more affordable.
Awesome.
This is easy because it's not so easy to look through all those deals. So you got the best
we did
ones.
The work for you.
Let's get this conveyor belt rolling, which I say every day.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was aggressive, guys.
I loved it.
We
What
caught
do
it.
we
We
got?
caught it. So this is from Walmart, you guys. They are having their deal days, and
That's from Walmart? That looks amazing.
doesn't it? It's Madden Girl, and this is the shoe of fall 2025.
Yep.
It's all about the mule, and the way that we're
Wearing
making
them
it
now.
really
You're wearing them
fresh
now.
you are.
Yes,
You're
I
so
am.
on trend, Lara Spencer. Is you want a little adornment for the fall, something like a bow or metallic. So these tick that box. The original price on this $54.99. They are now $29.99.
that's
That is
great. They're very pretty.
45% off, aren't
look
they?
They're well made. That's a good deal.
Yes,
All right.
indeed.
So now,
Rip it. Okay, you guys, here we go. The Black & Decker Dustbuster. This is the OG. Came out in 1979.
Yep.
I remember my first one. I do, because I'm that guy. I'm in there cleaning up.
You are
the
very
stuff.
neat. You are very neat.
Can confirm.
And there's not a better one to do it with than this, you guys, because it does get into tight spaces. It's great for car messes. I know I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I'm constantly
Yeah.
using it for all the
Yeah.
This
cereal.
one is you don't need a cord, right? You can plug it in.
It charges
Right,
cordless.
It charges,
Yep, the
it
whole
charges
thing.
exactly. So this one is great. The deal here, $69.99. Now is $44.99. That is
great.
36%
I need a
off.
dustbuster in my
Yeah,
life.
you do.
Lara
Yeah, you
Spencer,
do.
You scan that QR
All right,
code.
let's go.
Oh, I love
Let's roll it
this.
down. Oh,
This
wow,
one
this is big.
really
What is that?
cool. Yes. Okay, so this is from Levi's. So America's like cool brand in it, the cool jacket.
Another
Sam's
thing I had in the
Sam is sold.
70s. I love this thing.
This is actually
I'm
very
telling
on
you,
trend.
this is your moment.
Can you just
Sam.
take that off and I take it home?
And it also is Sherpa lined, so great for when you're
When you
outside.
see the deal, you can
It's
get
gonna blow
one.
your mind.
All right.
So you guys, this also comes in a bunch of different colors, and that's one of the tips we always tell people: look for sizing, look for different colors, because that's going to do price variability for you. Their original price on this is almost $80, up to 56% off.
These are really-
$35
this is
and
very
I'll look so
It's
cool
all
in
about-
that. I'm
it's all
getting the
about
navy.
the barn
I'm
jacket,
getting the navy.
the denim jacket.
What do we got, Sal?
Cozy Falls. Okay, this is. Do you remember this from when your kids were little? Okay,
Yes.
Melissa and
Great
Doug.
brand, too.
Great brand. It's been around for. We're holding hands.
Here we are.
It's been around for 30 years, and what parents love about this is that it's wood, it's BPA free, and it also has
It's just great old school toys.
It is, and it's thoughtfully designed. These have little Velcros so that you're not picking up pieces all over the place, right? So the deal on this, the original price up to $39.99. The new price, these start at just $14.49.
Great gift, too.
Great gift. And now is the time to really be thinking about those holiday gifts.
Yep.
So up to 49% off. You don't
I
want to
love
miss
that it's
it.
wood.
baby.
All right, here we go.
Beauty. This is a great time because beauty products already sort of affordable. Now they're even more affordable, and none more than this Color Wow Extra Mystical.
Obsessed with this
Shine
brand.
Spray. The brand is incredible,
Yeah.
right? So they have the Shine Spray and the Scalp Serum. These are great because they are non-greasy and high shine, which we love. The Scalp Serum is going to really help with hair growth and getting your hair looking.
I'm a little thin in the front, so I could
luscious.
use that.
Well, we got something for you.
Yeah.
These start at
It's a great product.
$21.75, 25 to
All right.
30% off.
Love it.
Roll it.
NYX, this is Talk About High Shine, the professional. This is called the Fat Oil. It's not sticky, but will leave your lips glossy for up to 12 hours at 20% off. These start at just $7.22.
right.
And finally, the Laneige, a cult fave, the lip sleeping mask. Put it on at night, wake up with beautifully hydrated, plump lips in the morning. Grapefruit is my personal flavor, but check out all the flavors.
Oh, because it smells so good,
It
too.
does. They're
And
amazing.
it kind of almost tastes. It's really good.
Yeah, but it's not like tacky.
No, it's great.
And these are 30% off starting at $16.
Wow, you did the work.
Oh,
Some
we
good
did.
stuff.
Got a good
Thank
research
you.
team.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bring
guys.
back my jacket, Lori B.
Christmas is coming.
All right, good.
You can get these deals by scanning your QR code right there on your screen,
There
or
it
just
is.
go to our website.
Coming up, guys, Jared Leto is here.
Yeah.
Like Jared Leto is here.
Yes.
I need not say anything else.
He's biblically strong, lightning fast.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
What happened back there?
I disobeyed my directive
Which was?
to retrieve the code from your disk and delete the carrier.
Dillinger told you to delete me?
Hang on!
Welcome back to GMA, and that was a look at Tron Ares, the third movie in the beloved franchise that is lighting up the grid once again with light cycles, just like the one we've got in our studio this morning. And joining us now is Oscar-winning actor and star of the movie, Jared Leto. Hey. welcome to the show, man. And you know, you've been a fan of the Tron movies since it came out back in 1982.
Yeah, I walked into that theater when I was about 11 years old, and I saw a film that changed my life. It just grabbed a hold of me and shook my imagination. It was the very first film to use computer graphics, and it came out in a time where everyone was talking about video games and home computers. I don't know, I just loved it.
And now you've entered the grid.
I've entered the grid, yeah. I've had a chance to be a part of this series, and it's incredible. It's a childhood dream for me.
Yeah, didn't you play it as a kid? Didn't you actually play it?
I played the video game incessantly. And that back then, you had to go to the store and play the stand-up arcade. And lots of quarters. And candy, just, But it was a magical film. It starred one of my favorite actors in the world, Jeff Bridges. Too, so.
We saw pictures of you guys together at the world premiere. Where that must have been a really special moment for y'all.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's really everything that you think he is. He's generous. He's kind. He's funny, and I just love him. He's a good guy.
Yeah, word on the street is that on one of the scenes you yelled cut. Because you were out of...
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah. It was my first day with Jeff Bridges, and, I was kind of on the side getting ready to do this really intense scene, and, they hailed action, and I was like, cut! And they came over because that was kind of unlike me, and they were like, what's wrong? And I said, I just can't stop smiling because I was so excited to work with the man, the myth, the legend himself, the dude.
Yes, exactly.
The dude.
It's an intense movie. The stunts look incredible.
Yeah.
Love to know how many of them. It's hard to tell. Is it you guys on the bikes, or what's the ratio?
It's absolutely not me on the bike. No. Sometimes it is me on the bike, but we had incredible stunt guys, and as I've gotten a little bit older and maybe a little wiser, I'm happy to give the stunt to the professional. Oh yeah, for sure. And they're so good at what they do. And then this movie is it's a ride. Meant to be seen in the biggest theater possible.
Yeah,
it's fun, exciting, funny, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
I feel like it's the Tron. Sorry, George. I feel like it's the Tron we deserved when it first came out. Right? The visual is incredible.
Yeah, the first film Jeff was telling me they were basically wearing like leotards, and and the sets were painted with not even painted. They used just like tape and stuff for all the lines, and then they animated them. It was a really laborious process, but we get to bring all kinds of crazy things to life with the technology.
Yeah, it's filled with action, but it also tackles some big questions: the power of AI, and as you said.
Do you always get the serious questions?
Yes.
Let's dive in now. Let's think of that.
You can talk about the bikes.
No, it's great. It is. And in the way the first film talked about like home computers or just computers and video games, that was topical. This movie is coming out in a time where everyone's talking about AI and how that's changing the world. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let me get you a non-serious question. Technology, it does talk about older technology, your love for Depeche Mode, I just can't get enough.
That's right.
Did you have to explain to some of the other people on the set about what a floppy disk was?
Are you calling me the old guy here? What's going on? Yes.
We're the same age, I think.
53. I'm 53. And it is wild to go back. And it was cool on this set because, first of all, this is like a dream. My inner child is just, was so happy every day. And, I'd look around on the set and they'd have all these props and stuff from back in the day, a little, floppy disk or a video game. So it was nostalgic for me. And it was really cool because I got to work with Jeff Bridges and Robin Robertson. So,
You made the cut. So I made the cut. I wasn't sure there.
Hey, come on. We got our money's worth.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But when you're in a movie like this, something when you were a kid that was such a big deal, you played the video games, you're on set, you see all these props, and is there anything you take home?
What I took home and I still carry with me every day is just a deep sense of gratitude. Wow. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to this whole film, Tron Ares, came from a single word in a script that never got made that was a sequel to the previous film.
That's right.
and I read it. They asked me to be in it. It wasn't right for me at the time, and I said, you know, if you're interested in developing this as a film around this character that I really loved in that script, I'd be game. So a year later, they said, we're not going to make that movie. What do you think? And that was 9 years ago. Wow. And now we're sitting here, and I got to work with Jeff Bridges and be here talking about this, a movie that when I was 11 years old just blew me away, a video game that I played, and it's like it's a dream.
Did you have an idea of who that character would be, or how did you find the character since you have such a love for this?
You know, I play a guy that's a warrior, or not a guy, a program, and he starts off, you know, really just living life after life, following a directive, a mandate, and then he discovers humanity and goes on a journey to kind of figure out what does it mean to be alive. So that was really fascinating to me. I love that aspect.
Well, you know what? Fans are going to love this movie, man.
Thanks.
And
I hope so.
that you waited 9 years.
You know, I hope that there's a kid out there that walks into the theater like I did, and is just, you know, sees a world that he never knew existed. You know, I'm excited. This weekend.
This weekend, Tron Ares. It hits theaters nationwide
on the big screen.
Friday on the big screen. The best way to see this movie, everybody. And tomorrow, Greta Lee will join us right here, and she's going to talk about the film as well. We're looking forward to talking to her.
Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, the second season of the sequel to the hit series Wizards of Waverly Place, is now streaming.
It's now streaming. So David Henry is here to reprise your original role, David. Welcome. You were here just before it all started.
Yes.
And now you're mentoring new wizards like the one played by Janice, Leanne Brown. Welcome back.
Welcome, and welcome to you. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
You guys are a lot of fun. I mean, we changed the whole set to look a little bit to get your like home base set here.
These new sets are unbelievable. The LEDs, all of it, incredible.
Thank you.
Now, we talked about you monitoring the new Wizards, but you started in the original series with Selena Gomez. How did you guys decide to bring it back?
It was very organic. There was nothing forced about it. We just hung out over the years. She lived down the block from me. Her and my wife became very good friends, and we just hang out, have dinners, and just joke about what the characters would be up to present day. And as the years passed, it was just like, you know, we got a show. We should do this in front of Disney.
Yeah.
And we did, and lo and behold, we're on our second season.
And second season. And Janice, you are the lead character in this. It's sort of, you're taking the baton, if you will, the magic wand from Selena Gomez. Did you watch her do her role, or did you ever get advice from her? Tell us a little bit about any connection.
Oh man, I used to watch the show and the movies with my big cousin all the time. So of course, you know, Alex Russo, I think, really shaped who I am, especially. I also used to watch her in Another Cinderella Story, and so I just love Selena so much, and she's so incredibly sweet and so kind, and she always checks up on us, and the main thing that she always expresses to me is that it can get really noisy, and to just kind of block out that noise as much as I can and just stay true to myself, and I think that's the one thing that really sticks with me.
That's great advice in all realms of life.
I remember her when she was your age. She gives good advice, you know what I mean? She really does. Let's take a look at the clip.
Let the wizarding begin.
Nice work, Roman!
Whoa, you started the wizarding without your #1 student?
Billy, you weren't his #1 student. You were his one student. There's a difference.
Sorry, Billy, we had to get started. Now that the boys have powers, you're not the only wizard I'm teaching anymore.
And I'm already getting good with my wand. I've only had it for 2 days, and I already know how to scratch my back with it.
You already taught him scratches my backus?
Scratches my back. It's weird, you know that one too.
Yeah, I do that one a lot, in the chair, all the time. So if there's a spell, if we're wizarding in our perfect wizardy world, and there's a spell that you would actually bring over to real life, what would it be? I would give both of you that.
Me, a duplication spell, because life has been very busy recently, and I wish there were 2 of me, so a duplication spell would be very helpful.
All right, good. That's a good one.
I would create a spell where I could have any pet in the world. Any pet in the
Now
world.
you're talking my language.
Yeah.
She likes pets. I think there are 30 dogs at her house right now. So you would have like all pets, like
yes.
Especially a ferret.
Especially a ferret.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have. Okay, I have 4 dogs. I recently just got a little son. He's a teacup chihuahua. His name is Paco, and I love him so very much.
I love that you called him your son.
And then I have... He is. He's my little baby. He
I
always,
understand.
Like, follows me around.
You and I were meant to have this conversation.
Yes, I love animals. Anyone who doesn't love animals, I don't trust them.
Well, we just had a moment there.
We sure did. Get over
You
it.
want to take your
you.
spell back? Do you want to include animals in yours?
Yeah.
I want to.
I have 3 kids and I need animals. That's what I was thinking. Like.
And you also, I understand why you're busy because you directed this year or season.
I directed the first Christmas episode that the Wizards world has seen, which was a blast. And this new season is about reprising the original values of the show, but in a whole new way. So we tell family values in a whole new way. And this episode in particular will speak to anyone who's felt lonely on Christmas.
Oh.
It's got a wonderful message because her character comes from a world where she's never had a stable family life. So coming into the Russo household is a whole new way to repackage the classic themes from the original show with a character that doesn't trust family. So it's a wonderful way to retell family stories. And this Christmas episode, I think, will be very touching, especially if anyone's ever felt lonely.
You should also do PR for the show because that is so beautiful.
And I get
Thank you very much.
dinners. I totally understand
that, Mickey.
I felt like we were at dinner with you and Selena right there where you were coming up with the idea. It was that good.
Guys.
All right. All episodes of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place Season 2 are streaming now on Disney+. Ginger, I think we need a wizarding spell.
We need to be watching. I am all over it. And I love animals too. I'm with you. All of the animals all the time. All right, let's get now to a GMA exclusive. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is getting set to celebrate its 40th anniversary. And we have a first look at the initial lineup of performers and presenters for the 2025 induction ceremony. So many influential stars will take the stage at the Peacock Theater in LA, including Elton John, Brandi Carlile, Olivia Rodrigo, Missy Elliott, Questlove, 21 Pilots, and Doja Cat. The induction ceremony will once again stream live on Disney Plus starting November 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, ABC will air a primetime special with highlights and standout performances on New Year's Day 2026. And it all streams the next day on Hulu.
The Emmy-winning filmmaker Andrew Jarecki, you know his documentary, The Jinx, the life and deaths of Robert Durst, and now Jarecki's back with a new documentary called The Alabama Solution. Welcome back. It's great to see you again. I saw the movie thanks to you, and it is harrowing. It brings people into a world that is most Americans would never see. Explain what they're going to see here.
Well, what's unique, I think, about this film is that it takes you inside one of the deadliest prison systems in the world, really, which is the Alabama State Prison System. I was always curious about this system, and we got a chance to volunteer there. And when we were there, we recognized, because we were talking to the men who are incarcerated there, that there were areas of the prison we were not allowed to see, that there were many things happening, that our visit was sort of curated. And so we made an effort to understand who was inside, and it turned out that there were very strong leaders inside who had been running a nonviolent effort to try to improve
And filming it, that's what's so incredible.
And filming it with contraband cell phones. Really extraordinary. I mean, most Americans think, how do people have cell phones in prison? The answer is, they're sold to them by the guards. You know, I was talking to one of the prisoners and I said to him, where do the drugs come in? Where do the cell phones come in from? And he looked at me sort of incredulous and he said, you know, we don't leave, right? They're coming in from the guards are bringing them in. And I've spoken to many prison guards who said, listen, I make $38,000 a year at this job, but I can make $70,000 if I'm also selling drugs and I'm also selling cell phones.
Contraband.
The flip side is that we've had the ability to have access to these prisons for the first time. There's no other time I've ever seen where you're talking to people who are currently not just incarcerated, but some of them are in solitary confinement while they're talking to the audience.
I've never seen anything like it. Let's give everybody a look.
Melvin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Police in here.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, they're gone now.
Would a regular phone call be better?
No, because it does not allow us
to just be ourselves, you know.
So many shocking moments in that film. What shocked you the most?
I mean, I think some of the most obvious things are just the fact that these prisons have become kind of a murder factory. You know, that the guards are involved in killing inmates in the prison, that there is a remarkable level of brutality that I think the average American driving down the street, you see a little metal sign
An
that
arbitrary
says,
brutality.
It's arbitrary, but it's also, you know, it's often in these prisons, it's like a sort of mafia operation where a guard will come in, even a well-meaning guard, and we'll get a call a couple days later from another guard saying, you know, you understand how this works, right? You know, you're down with the system, right? We wouldn't have to have a problem with you. So it's the secrecy, I think, that Americans are not really allowed to see what's going on in these prisons that we spend $80 billion a year of taxpayer money on. As Melvin Ray says in the film, how is it possible that a journalist can go into a war zone but can't go into a prison in the United States of America? It's also just, you know, disturbing to see the level of neglect and I think also the denial by the state. You know, the issue is not a partisan issue. You know, I think we sort of are all in agreement that public safety is extremely important. The question is whether this is the way to achieve it.
Here's what the Alabama Department of Corrections said. They said, we're aware of the film with footage acquired from inmate contraband cell phones. We cannot confirm or comment on the authenticity of any video footage obtained illegally. Your response?
I'm not surprised when the Trump DOJ issued their findings letter under Jeff Sessions. That was just incredibly disturbing, talking about the conditions inside the prison system. The response was, this is all anecdotal, it's not true, you didn't give us a chance to edit the report. And so I'm not surprised they would want to undermine the film, they would want to undermine the statements, but I think the presence of this cell phone footage makes it painfully obvious to the public that this is what's happening, and I think they're going to have to address it.
It is a powerful film. Thank you for coming in. The HBO original documentary, The Alabama Solution, airs Friday on HBO. Will be available to stream on HBO Max.
Boy, this was quite a morning.
Yeah.
Covered a lot of different subjects.
Sure did.
It was great.
Have a good day, Ron.
Bye.